That was actually the wrong video cue, but for this stream, we're gonna have to use it. Oh, am I losing? All right. Luckily, I had a backup camera. Looks like my GoPro is acting up today. Hello, folks. Denobi2 here. We are going to be talking about the Toy Fair announcements, and I invited a longtime friend from Florida, from the East Coast, and he's going to be helping me bounce ideas, share thoughts, and it's going to mainly be hot Toy Fair announcements and the pricing. So without further ado, let's introduce Jeff. Say hello, Jeff.
What's going on, people? How we doing?
Hello. The comments are coming in. Let's give everybody. We got 20 that are joining in right now. Hello, Doc Smizzle. Hello, everybody joining in. Hello, working good now. Yeah, my GoPro was acting up. Not sure what was going on there, but that's okay. I always have a backup plan for these situations. So Jeff here is a longtime friend from Florida. I attribute a lot of the tipping over of hot toys mainly to him, because he was into hot toys before me. I jumped in 2012. Jeff, you've been collecting hot toys since 2009, 2010? Correct me if I'm wrong.
2008, I think 2008 was when my first hot toy.
Yeah. And you are still going strong with it. You're still devoted to hot toys, aren't you?
I ordered 6 of them last week.
I saw that. You sent me that message, and I'm just like, he's going. Yeah. You're going strong. You're going strong with the Force.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all of that stuff is super hot right now, man. You can't go wrong. If you're not including those figures into your collection and your rotation, you're missing out down the line if you're ever looking to make a profit on them. So,
yeah. And when you say that you pre-ordered 6, share with the audience, meaning you are focused on Hot Toys Star Wars, correct?
Hot Toys Star Wars. I'm into Batman and Joker. I mean, I pretty much pop culture.
Okay.
Right now, there's been a lot of Star Wars focus, but I mean, I'm into the Batman Arkham series, so I've got like the Joker and Batman just behind me. And I apologize, I don't have the room set up today to be videoing from. I just got this invite just a few minutes ago, so I wasn't really set up for this today. But maybe next time. But yeah, I have about 12 DTOF cases filled with hot toys.
Yeah.
I'm constantly rotating them in and out. I have a lot of fun, man. It's a great hobby.
Yeah, I thought of Jeff because I suspected I may be going into a rant on this live stream, and if I tend to be, if I suspect that I'm going to be negative with Star Wars hot toys, it always helps if I bring someone who's devoted to the Force, who's devoted to the Star Wars universe, who's devoted to hot toys, to help balance me out. That way, I try to be fair. I try to play advocate with the audience. And over the weekend, Friday, I think, we had 3 Toy Fair announcements, and we had 3 of them. I'm going to bring them onto the screen here. Where are you, my friends? We had the Toy Fair exclusive Neon Tech Iron Man that was announced. We had the Toy Fair exclusive The Mandalorian, the armor, and we had Spider-Man, a Cyborg Spider-Man suit. 3 Toy Fair exclusives. Now, I had planned to have done a live stream over the weekend because a lot of YouTubers were critiquing the characters. They were sharing their thoughts. I wanted to wait for the pricing. That way I can base it on the character announcements and then add it in with the price, because I know by experience that when you announce a Toy Fair exclusive and you don't have the price, it's very incomplete on your thoughts. Now, you saw this over the weekend. Were you sold on these 3, Jeff?
Not really. I mean, they're all okay secondary figures. I mean, I'll order the armor.
The armor.
She's gonna be for completists. She's gonna be that one figure that people pass on, and then she'll be sold out, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh shit, and so I'll get her into the collection. The Spider-Man, he's a from that specific story era, he's a really cool character. Am I jumping at the bit to get him in? Me, not personally, but Spider-Man has become the new Iron Man. So
Yeah.
people are buying all of the different suits, and this is just one of those pieces that's gonna give it some depth. The Iron Man figure, you're the Iron Man guy, they always do well, but again, for me, what I've seen with these kinds of exclusives, they're hot for a while and then they'll cool. It'll kind of be a roller coaster. They'll cool off. Sometimes you'll get a really good deal on them. They'll drop in the 200 to 300s, and you can pick them up somewhere, and then they'll jump right back up again. Just kind of depends. It's a good suit. It's the Mark 50, if I'm not mistaken, right?
The Mark 50 for Infinity War. Yeah, it's part of the
so
Neon Tech line.
Yeah, so it's a great suit. Again, Iron Man has always been your strength. That was your bread and butter character. So I always enjoyed him through you and all the different Iron Mans that you collected. I don't think I have as many as you do when it comes to Iron Man. I'll say that.
No, you're right.
Has anybody here ever seen your famous containment center for the Hulk? I mean, you're a dedicated hot toy collector. I created a monster, is what I like to think.
I've had my ups and lows when it comes to collecting hot toys. Glad we finally got the Cyborg. That's the big joke. Everybody in the community, and for as a DC fan, because I know you love your Harley Quinn, we've all been clamoring for a Cyborg hot toys, and we haven't gotten it. And the big joke in the internet is that, we finally got a Cyborg. It's a
Cyborg of some type. Yeah. I think he'll be eventual. I think there's just a lot of bad negative press for his character, like the actor, and I think they just don't want to touch a character that may not be able to push because there's too much drama going on behind scenes. But hopefully we'll get that character because he was really cool in the movie. It was a great piece to get if they make it. So
I don't even think it has anything to do with the whole public persona and how the actor got bent out of shape. I just think because the movie didn't perform the first time around, and it affected the sales with the existing characters of Aquaman. I mean, think about it. The Aquaman with the gold suit didn't even sell very well.
Right, but again, I think if the Snyder cut, I mean, if that would have been something that was in theaters, maybe a different outcome. I enjoyed the Snyder cut. I mean, I know not everybody did, but I think it was a little bit more fleshed out and not as silly in parts. I mean, it's different, but I mean, Cyborg certainly got a better storyline and a little bit more fleshed out. So, he might have done better, but we'll never know because that's all kind of a dead issue. It's a shame because I love the DC stuff, so it would have been nice to.
I know you do.
To Darkseid, yeah. I wanted more. I did want more, especially with the the ending and everything. It would have been nice to know that maybe there's something in the future. But I never thought we'd get the Snyder cut, and we did. So
it's an awesome film.
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
so,
this is one of the reasons I wanted to get you on, because I know that you're a very dedicated Hot Toy Star Wars collector, but you also love your DC in the same way that I love Star Wars, but I don't trust Star Wars, but I still have my Marvel as my backup. Versus with you love your Star Wars, but you have your DC as your backup. You've always been a DC boy. Yeah. Your Batmans and all your characters.
Joker, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember back in 2011, you were telling me about that DX Joker, and you were telling me. I never forgot that because I always attended every show, every San Diego Comic Con. I would see it all there, and it tipped me over. So Toy Fair, we had these characters were announced over the weekend, and Sideshow only announced one into pre-order, which was the Spidey right here. Mm-hmm. That right there at a sticker price of $270.
Yeah, a little high.
That's a lot.
A little high for what they're giving us. Yeah.
That's high. Typically, that most other Spider-Man characters typically range between $240 to $250. Yeah. So you're looking at a $300 figure there.
I mean, I'll judge it against like the Bo-Katan character from the Star Wars line that they released. I think she's $240. I think she's $240, $250. You're getting the head sculpt plus the helmet.
Oh,
Typically, you get up into that 270 price range when you're getting a head sculpt, and with Spider-Man,
how, you know what? You're absolutely right. Look at you. You're using
yeah.
a Star Wars. How much is
hmm
Bo-Katan going for? Let me look at her here. Where
Just past her. You just
did I
passed her.
pass her? Hold on.
Yep. Little up right
Oh,
there.
wait a
Top.
minute. Wait a minute. 285. So
Where
that's
is
the
that? Is that
retail.
Sideshow? She's not
That's
costing me that
Sideshow.
much.
These are Sideshow prices. Yeah. Everything here is US based off of Sideshow
Mm-hmm.
in this chart. This is 285 right here.
That
Slated
must
for
be with
April.
shipping. Is that with shipping?
No, dude.
Yeah, because
This is
that's not what I'm
retail.
paying.
There is no tax. There is
Mm-hmm.
no shipping on these. The prices you see in my weather chart. This is the chart that I
Mm-hmm.
created to anticipate the amount of Star Wars pre-orders that have not shipped.
Right.
You know it's over 30 plus figures that have not shipped yet, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. They're delayed. I mean, you gotta understand with COVID and all the delays. I mean, hell, plastics, everything is gonna be way behind. So it'll be a miracle. I mean, I do know that the Ahsoka clone has finally shipped the first batch, and you can actually get that today. I came across a store that has them in stock.
Wait a minute. This one
So
right here,
the Ahsoka clone,
the Clone Wars Ahsoka?
501st, the 504.
Yeah.
You can get that figure now. So Ahsoka can't be far behind. They were due for this last quarter of this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait a
So
minute, Jeff. Jeff, be careful now. You're saying that this has been released by Hot Toys?
yeah, absolutely. I could have bought it the other day and had it shipped to my house, but I've already got them on pre-order, so I just left it. But um, yeah, I watched the guy have a review on them already.
Holy shit! I didn't know Ahsoka Tano was released. Can somebody
Not
confirm
not
that? I
not
didn't think so.
no, I'm sorry, not Ahsoka, but her clone,
Oh, the
the
Clone Trooper.
501st,
Okay,
the clone trooper.
that's
My
where
bad.
I
Yeah,
was losing it. Okay,
yeah,
this one right
yeah.
here, the Clone
Yes,
Trooper,
that
the
one.
501st. Yes,
Yes, yeah.
phenomenal figure.
He's out, and the first batches started shipping. Um, so Ahsoka's not far behind. They basically got released the same week, if
Okay,
I'm not mistaken. So we should be seeing those very shortly.
okay.
And of course, they only to make it in the first batch, you had to have paid everything up front. If you do the payment plans, then you wind up in the second or third batches. So
Okay.
yeah.
You are you still doing your day one pre-orders? Do you just click on day one and then just set it and forget it? You've always been a day
Yeah,
one pre-order guy, right?
yeah. If I
You're
want it,
not
I just buy it.
you're not worried about the 2 year delays on your money or any.
Nah. I mean, that's what, like I said, I got 12 debuffs, and I sell when I get tired of a character. If I want an upgrade, I'll take one to one of my shows. And I just sold my Bucky,
Okay.
the first version of Bucky, and I just sold him for 1,200. So, that paid for 3 or 4 figures right there. So
Are you getting
I
rid of
sold
your
my
Marvel line, or are you just getting rid of your Marvel line to focus on?
I'm just like I said. I mean, I've had the Avengers for a while,
Yeah.
and
You've always done that. Yeah,
yeah, I just kind of I go through.
you've always been a aggressive curator with your collection versus I tend to get connected. I try to stay a little bit longer, and I every year I'll try to move 1 or 2 pieces out of my collection to actually make space. But
Yeah,
you've always been, after a couple of years, all right, I'm tired of the Avengers. I'm tired of the Civil War. Let's move
right.
it, let's flip
I
it, and
move
let's
it.
keep it
Yeah,
going. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've got the pieces that I'll never let go. Any of my Jokers, all my Jokers will always be with me. I mean, my truck is a Joker themed truck, and I got them tattooed on me. So that's my main guy. But everything else, yeah, I enjoy them until something else is really cool, and I'd like to see that on display for a while.
So,
So I'll
so
swap them out.
I'm confused though. Are you going to treat it? Are you going to treat the Mandalorian line in the same manner? Where a couple of years?
I absolutely, yeah, and it's funny you bring that up. So I had gotten the Mandalorian with Child Deluxe set,
Yeah.
came in the mail, right? I hadn't even put him on display, and I had a toy show a few weeks back. So I brought him, and I brought the Heavy, which came. I was in the second batch for the Heavy, so I got him a little bit later than most. And so I took both. I unboxed him at the show while I was there. So I was like, oh, let me check him out. Put him on
Hmm.
display. That Mandalorian, you could go on Sideshow and buy that Mandalorian deluxe set at what is it, 320 or whatever that is.
315 or something like that. Yeah.
Right. Sold it for 500. I said, I'll give you $500 for it right now. I gave it to him. I'm like, all right, cool. I just turn around, buy another one. You know, I made $150 off of it.
So for the audience, for the audience members that aren't aware of what you do, explain to what you actually do on the side as a side hobby. He runs a toy store. I want you to explain that to the audience.
So I've been collecting since 1995. I started off as a Star Wars collector, and I was always a big G.I. Joe fan, and just like 80s pop culture was always my thing. So I started collecting. It's how I met Denobi, through collecting Star Wars. And then as the years progressed and my collection got bigger and bigger, just started really running out of space. So, because of COVID, about a year ago, I had a couple other friends that they were doing the toy convention circuit, and there's basically is a convention every month. And we got a lot of the Star Wars figures that we have. We have a lot of vintage figures that we get them AFA graded, and those are in our collection. And so that was our thing. That was our niche at the shows. We had AFA graded items at the shows. So I did a table. I made like 4,000 my first show. So I was like, oh, wow, all right, cool. So I just did it as a side hop and just started taking stuff out of my collection, putting it on the table. And things were moving. People wanted it. All that money that people were getting during COVID, were spending it at the toy shows. And there wasn't I know in a lot of states there was a lot going on, but here in Florida, where nobody gives a shit. So everybody was out and they'll put their face mask on, and they were enjoying that they had something to do other than sitting in house watching Netflix. So we were doing these shows, and I got more and more addicted to it, meeting the people and then finding and buying older collections from people. So that was just really, it's become, I just love doing it. The people I'm meeting, I'm able to upgrade into things that I would never have thought to have buy before, and added to the collection. And then I got a lot of requests for statues and hot toys. So I started bringing that stuff to the shows, and I met one of my biggest supporters is What's Poppin', Seth Green. He's down in South Florida. He's got a large group that follows him. He's a big toy hunter, and he is a huge hot toy collector. And he's bought 3 hot toys from me to date already. And he's coming to my show this coming weekend, and he's expecting to buy more hot toys from me. So, I kind of look for stuff that they're looking for, and I look in my own collection, and, there's other stuff that I want. So, what's going to buy what I want? I take something out of the collection and, make room for the new thing. It's like changing furniture, you
well, I guess that's where I'm having a little bit. So you're not devoted to keeping a somewhat long-term collection. You're collecting them. And
I would say, like, all the Batman figures I've had, the Avengers I've had since 2012, 2014. I've had them for over.
So you still have the DC line, okay?
So
the Mandalorian.
I have a lot of the Avengers. The which one?
Well,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I know where you're going with this, with the Star Wars, because I know that in the past, a lot of collectors gotten, like, if you're into it for the investment, I know a lot of people have been like, oh, they always wind up on clearance. Through the movies, that was definitely the case. There's never been a lot of growth when you look at hot toys, like the stock market, the Star Wars line never really. You've got a couple keys. Luke with what's the one that he's
the Jedi Luke.
The Jedi, the one the Bespin Luke.
Bespin Luke,
A lot of people want that figure. He's still a hot figure to get because they haven't really remade him, although they keep teasing that they will.
Yeah.
But as we're going, Mandalorian is just white hot.
It is. But I'm trying to understand your logic, though, because if you're day one pre-ordering this, you understand that your deposits are going to sit in someone's account for a couple of years, and you even said it that this stuff is going to get delayed for years. So then why day one pre-order it? And the reason why I'm grilling you on this, because you are a veteran. You've been doing this for a very long time. So I'm trying to understand the logic on this. Does that make sense?
I get you.
Yeah, because it's a lot. Because you just told me, how many Ahsokas did you pre-order? You pre-ordered a couple.
Last week, 6. Last week
you pre-ordered.
I had 6.
So you feel. See, and I disagree with you on this because I think Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka is gonna go straight to the bargain bin. I think.
No.
I think.
And you know why? Because you have not been on the Clone Wars bandwagon since the cartoon started. You've always denied that cartoon. So I'm gonna call you out there because you've never been a fan of that. And I told you in the past that Clone Wars had a huge following growing behind it because they fixed Anakin and they made people fall in love with his storyline.
It's not that there isn't a following for the Clone Wars. It's will the following of the Clone Wars back up these expensive action figures? That's my argument on there.
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. You know, getting off the hot toy subject, if you look at Ahsoka's lightsabers, they're sold out on Disney properties every time you go.
That's Disney lightsabers. No, you can't. No, you're trying to mix it in.
No, I'm trying to tell you the character. The character is probably in the top 5 right now with.
Oh, and I agree. I agree with you. I believe that
her character, her figure. Yes. I think there will be some people. Are they going to want the animated or are they going to want the live action? I do say which one will be more popular. Yeah, and that'll be up to Rosario Dawson and how she portrays the character and how well that translates. I mean, the one episode we got, I thought was pretty good. Yeah. So I do think that, but I loved Clone Wars, and you know, I love what they're doing. You know, I've gotten Rex. No, Rex is coming. I got Cody. Rex should be on the way soon. So having that whole team, I've even ordered Bad Batch. So I'm enjoying that and the possibilities of what Omega is going to turn out to be. It's fun, you know. I mean,
I know, and I know you enjoy it, and I have no disarguments with the animated adventures of the Clone Wars. I have it's the actual hot toy products. This is a 250. Actually, what is Ahsoka going for? This is a 250.
If I was wrong on Bo-Katan, so Ahsoka and Bo-Katan's got to be close within $15-$20 of each other. So
again, this chart, these prices were lifted directly from Sideshow. This does not include shipping, and it does not include tax. So this is the retail price. So where my argument with you, or I feel that you will be stuck with the 6+ Ahsokas for a while, is because
I didn't order 6 of one character. I said I ordered 6 hot toys.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't order. I ordered 3 clone troopers.
Okay.
I just want them as a backdrop. But yeah, no. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you understood it that way. No, yeah.
Okay. So okay, yeah. No, I don't disagree that there is a demand for this character for this Clone Wars. My concern is that I'm speculating a bubble. This is way too much Star Wars hot toys being shoved to collectors in a short amount of allotted time. And I don't feel that there's a benefit to letting your $30 times 6 or your $50 times pre-orders sit in someone's bank account for 2 years. You said we're in the pandemic and everything's been delayed.
Absolutely.
So
I just like knowing that it's done and out of my way, and I don't have to worry about it. That's just me. That's where I'm at. I mean, I totally get some people rather wait until it's in stock and buy it then, and that's fine. You know, and it's always been better. I mean, because it's not the only thing I collect. So I've got
I know you collect more.
You know what? Some of the stuff I've got some Razor Crest coming, and I've got a lot of Sentinels coming, and I got stuff. So yeah, it's easier this way for me. Works out better.
Yeah,
that's what the toy shows do. The toy shows make it possible for me.
Yeah, and I know that there for certain hot toy collectors, it's easier to click and for day one pre-order. But my goal is that I do love the Mandalorian. And we have my list here is close to 40. Right, this is all Star Wars hot toys. This is that have not shipped from the U.S. So like Kylo Ren shipped to the U.S. The speeder bike has shipped. So there's certain characters, and we're probably trending about.
Which I would pass on all of those. I'm not touching anything that's not made.
Oh, so you're not getting the swoop bike. I see. This is you're not getting the swoop bike. You're not getting
Nah,
the little
I'm okay.
blurg. You're not getting the blurg,
No, I'm not getting that either. No,
but you're
not
getting the
for
Bad
me.
Batch though. But you're getting the Bad Batch though, right?
I'm getting the characters. Yeah, I'm gonna
And you're
get
getting
all of them.
Rosario Dawson. I heard you say that you're
Yeah,
for the live action. Okay, so
yeah.
you are
And it,
nitpicking Star Wars then. So you are
yeah, I
cherry
mean,
picking.
I'm picking the characters that I love. Because let me tell you, when you're a Hot Toys collector, if you're buying it thinking only to make money, you're gonna lose money. So you better love what you buy, and that
Oh,
way, if you're stuck with it, you're happy with it. So don't buy things that you don't really have an attachment to. That's my best advice to anybody out there watching. It's definitely got to be, something that you love, because you could be stuck with it. So you have to be ready for that.
did you hear that, folks? That was not prepped. I did not. Jeff spoke like a veteran Hot Toys collector that knows how to manage and curate. That line you just said is something that I've always stuck by. So you were worrying me, dude. You were like, what is he like? Like, how is Jeff managing his collection? But then it came out of your own words, and you have restored my faith in you now, because I'm like, oh my God, how is Jeff managing his collection? I go, how's he been? But you said it, and you've brought my fears down, because that's exactly how you should manage the Hot Toys world. Because if you don't, you get tapped out. I've seen a lot of Hot Toy collectors get tapped out of this. So, all right, you've earned some street cred there, and that was not perfect. Because you're right. You should collect what you love. You have to nitpick. You can't, because on this chart that I built here, anything that has this little icon here, assistant, that's what I'm collecting. If it doesn't, I'm not buying it. If it's yellow alert, means I may or may not pass on it. So there's a lot of Star Wars characters that I do want. I am chasing the troopers and so forth, and Moff Gideon. But this right here, are you getting this mess right here? You getting this 2-pack
Uh,
Jango Fett, Boba Fett here?
no, I actually passed on that particular set. Yeah, I'm holding
Why did
off
you
for a
pass on
couple of
this? What's your
just
thought on this? You didn't care for
uh,
it?
yeah, and this is gonna piss off some people. Boba Fett's not
That's
my
okay. I
favorite
want to hear your
character.
thoughts, because you're a Star Wars
Yeah,
fan. Go ahead.
Boba Fett is cool and everything. I think I'm more intrigued, and maybe it's just because of Clone Wars, right? I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's because I've watched to see, all the Mandalorian stuff. So all the other characters are so developed that I'm interested in them. When I get interested in them, then I go and I buy their characters, and I want a piece of that memorabilia. So Boba Fett, he was so silent in the movies. Who knows? Book of Boba Fett may totally change that opinion when that comes out. But as of right now, I'm kind of that would be a yellow alert. That one I'm not jumping, but if I find myself caught up on pre-orders and I've got it and it's still available, I'll snatch them up. But I'm not jumping day one on that one.
God
So
damn. I thought I knew you, dude. I thought you
yeah,
were like a
no,
Star Wars cut boy with this 2-pack set.
yeah, no,
You're
yeah,
blowing me, because I thought you'd be like all over this. I thought you'd be
yeah,
drooling all over this
yeah,
2-pack set. So this is like,
yeah.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I actually like the new Mandalorian. They just released the new deluxe set with the dark
with the chrome.
saber, with the chrome. Like
Yeah,
I knew that we were, I've learned from Iron Man. Iron Man, when that back in the days of Iron Man, when Zenobi was getting into it, it was all the plastic parts, and there was a hollow figure inside, so they were really lightweight. And
yeah.
then the die-cast wave started, and then that changed everything. And
That
so
changed
I kind
everything.
of figured that Mandalorian and all of the different Mandalorian figures with the armor, we're gonna get the die-cast, and that for me that's gonna be the Rolls Royce of those characters. So
Oh, wait a minute. So
mhm.
you're speculating that the next evolution for the Mandalorian is
Oh,
that he'll have a diecast
Kenobi.
suit. Uh,
It's just good business. It's just good
yeah,
business. First, they'll hook you. How many Mandalorian characters have we gotten now? And how
3.
each time he gets better, So actually, it's more than three. You got the
Uh,
ground. You got him in his original suit. Then you
yeah,
got him in the chrome. Then you got the deluxe. Well, I guess if you count the deluxes, you get more versions of them. But um,
yeah.
but yeah, diecast is definitely next. You're gonna get armor. You're gonna get armor on all those characters. All those Mandalorian characters are gonna come out with armor, Beskar armor, and those will be
With a
the ones that.
diecast with the Velcro, it sticks on and everything.
Yeah, Yeah.
That would be sweet. I
I'm
never
saying
thought
it
about
now. You'll see it probably by the time the show airs. We'll see those going up for pre-order because they know people like me and you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta have that best version. You know, even though you've pre-ordered or you know the one has shipped, you look at it and you're like, you know what, I gotta have the better version. You know, so
So it
it
doesn't
was like
bother
that with
you.
Iron.
So it
It
doesn't
was
bother
like that
you
with Iron.
that it was. It doesn't bother you that it was just announced and released in pre-order, which such a short distance from the last announcement. It doesn't bother you.
I can see why it frustrates people, right?
Okay.
Because there's a lot, you know, it's like, do you wait and see if it's going to get any better? And
Yeah.
then look at the heavy Mando. He's sold out. You can't get him. Now you're paying secondary market prices for him, you know, and he's got one episode behind him. It's a phenomenal figure.
Yeah.
It's beefy. It's great. Imagine
I
if they
love it.
release him die-cast. Imagine die-cast. It'll be like Whiplash. You know what I mean? Whiplash was this big, chunky die-cast figure.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. You know, I'm a big guy, so I've always gone for the Hulk and the big characters in Marvel and DC and Bane and stuff. So when Heavy Mandel was coming out, I had to have that one. But you know, if they do them in die-cast, I'll get them in die-cast. So
You know what's interesting? That the announcement of the brand new Mandalorian with the chrome and the with the spear, it didn't really bug most veteran collectors as the newer collectors because that didn't bug me. And it's interesting because I spoke to somebody and it's interesting
because
that
you
it
already
didn't
know
bug
you're
me.
hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
it didn't bug you. It's yeah, because it didn't. I'm like, I know this game. This is a roller coaster.
And like I said, I guess it didn't bother me as much because at the last toy show I did, I sold the version I had. So I made money on that one and I was like, well, all right. So, and then they released it. So I'm like, all right, well, which one now am I going to get? Am I going to get the one that I just had or am I going to go for the new version? And I kind of like the Darksaber. So I like the idea of getting that in there. So
let's take a trip to Sideshow here. Let's I'm going to pop the screen in here for Sideshow. Can you see that? All right.
Yep.
So 3 Toy Fair announcements, and the only one that's gone into pre-order is the Cyborg Spider-Man. The other two announced the other 2 characters have not gone into pre-order. I want to hear your theory why they started with this and they haven't.
Well, I mean, for the Marvel universe, Spider-Man always sells. So, I mean, like
I don't believe that
anymore.
I think
well,
it's
he's still there. It's still the #1 selling comic book for Marvel. You know, Spider-Man's always going to be on top. It'll be a roller coaster ride of emotions on how his storyline's going, but it's always Spider-Man's. It's a brand that everyone across the planet knows. So they'll get away with making a character like this. He's obscure in my opinion. I mean, in the storyline that he comes out of, I mean, it's not that big of a deal version for me. You know, if I was bored, if I was into all of the Spider-Man suits, it's very different from what a usual Spider-Man suit would be. So that would be my entry for it, but it's not a must-have. So I would think he's the first one out the gate because it's Spider-Man. I think your next one will be Iron Man. And Mandalorian's going to sell no matter what because that brand of Mandalorian is just white hot. And, you know, a lot of this stuff, you know, when the next seasons come around and it's only going to get better from here. So Filoni-verse and whatever you want to call it, they are really, they're putting out some good product right now. So
you don't have any. So they, like I said, they announced the 3 characters, the Mark 50, the Spider-Man Cyborg, and then the armor. But typically with the Toy Fair announcements, they all go on pre-order at the same date. Only Cyborg Spider-Man, right?
I think, you know, Target's doing something right now with G.I. Joe where they're releasing a character each day for the next week at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure we're looking at the same thing. They're just stretching. You know, think about it for marketing for Sideshow, releasing something each day gets more clicks. So thinking about it from the business side, it's smarter for them to release something, keep their brand, keep their name trending.
Go on, keep the foot traffic. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, is San Diego Comic-Con even happening this year?
They're doing like a virtual event, but there's no actual meet and greet in person.
that's what this is. This is part of that. So now that everybody's had to resort to everything online and presenting everything through the internet, they're just spacing it out. Gives
They're
you
just
time to look at it. They'll probably seeing how many initial hits they get off of it. Because how many
yeah,
times have they shown us something and then we never see it?
yeah.
They say they're gonna build something and there just wasn't enough interest. I mean, I know that I was looking at that Anakin Starfighter that you went to Comic-Con once and filmed,
Hmm.
and I was looking forward to that, but we never even got that. I was looking forward to the Millennium Falcon diorama cockpit scene. I mean, I had all the characters for that, hoping that they actually built it, and that never really came around. So it just depends. So I think things like this sometimes are feelers to see if they're going in the right direction. Um, Giving some things they wouldn't normally do. That's what all these characters are to me. These are something that normally wouldn't make it into their normal um, drops, but something as special as a convention exclusives, gives you something unique, and this is and it's appropriate for it. But again,
You're
you have
right.
to kind of get into it.
Yeah, it never dawned on me because there is no San Diego Comic Con that this is what I mean. Because Sideshow Collectibles has they've always had a huge physical presence in person, and that was one of the things that I look forward to, and that's one of the cool perks about attending the show is that you can get to
Right.
see these figures in person, you
See
get to
it
see all the prototypes.
firsthand. Yeah.
Hmm.
I remember when you saw the 66 Batmobile.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
God,
that was a while
that
ago.
was
Man.
badass.
That was
So things
yeah.
like that. That's what's special about those shows when you get to see that kind of product in hand. It makes you want to buy it. 'Cause they sell themselves. When you see them in person, a lot of this stuff is just all right. I just got to have it. It's just a matter of figuring out your finances to figure out. Payment plans work for a lot of people. You could spend 30 to $50 a month, and you're gonna get it. You can live with that. Spending 500 at one clip, that's not for everybody. So the
But
payment
Jeff,
plans works, and
Jeff,
Sideshow
but
gives
I
it to
mean,
everybody.
you do business, you do retail business, and you know very well that that Batman 66 wouldn't have sold. That's one of the reasons it was abandoned.
I
They would have
mean,
sat on that.
I agree. I think right. No different than the Batmobile from the new Justice League movie. I mean, that Batmobile never would have sold.
That
Not
never would
like
have
the
sold. Yeah,
89 Batmobile sold like hotcakes. But
yeah,
that sat on there for a while. Even that
it
sat on
did.
there for a while. Now you can't touch one for less than 1,500.
Yeah,
So, that's kind of the going rate right now. That thing is the size of a refrigerator, but it's badass. But that's the more popular Batmobile for most. So the 89.
it doesn't bother you, but the whole reissue with the Tumbler, with the Christopher Nolan reissue of the Tumbler.
I don't really know why they went with the Tumbler. Like I didn't think that was a very popular Batmobile.
I didn't
It's
think so
cool
either.
looking,
Yeah,
but I'm glad that they did the reissue of the bike, the cycle, whatever,
yeah,
however it's
the little
pronounced.
Bat Pod. Yeah,
Yeah, the Bat Pod. I mean, I thought, hey, that was always a really cool piece to me. I mean, I have the original, but for people that were kind of going after that, it gave people a second chance. But Tumblr, I mean, I would have been more impressed if they'd done the 89 or do the animated one, and shock everybody and give us something different. But you know, it happens. It's all good. I mean, but Tumblr never went much more than 600, 700 on the
I,
secondary market. It never,
I kept telling that to people. It never really
yeah,
trended that high on eBay
no,
anyway. So it
no.
was so out of left field that they would reissue the Tumblr. I'm like,
Yeah, I
I
think
go,
I
it was
think
never.
they just started doing all the. I was kind of hoping that they were going to do more from the movie, and give us more characters. I mean, I was glad that they did the Nightmare Batman, but they did it in a two-pack, so not everybody likes the Superman, so it was kind of odd that they did it that way. Um, but if they did another Bane figure, I'm sure that one would sell. Catwoman, I'm sure would sell.
I think so
Those were
too.
really cool. Those were good movies, and those characters were really nice, and I still have all of them in my collection. I love them, so those will never go out of the collection.
This right here is our Toy Fair exclusives of last year. I
Right.
don't think this Cyborg Spider-Man is going to sell very well. I think it's going to sit for a very, very long time. I've shared
I'd
my,
agree. Yeah,
I,
it may
yeah,
even be sitting there at Christmas time with the coupons that me and you used to wait
yeah,
around for on some of these figures.
yeah.
Um, it's just not that key of a character. If they would have made a Mary Jane or maybe something like that, that fans would be like, oh wow, they've never done that before.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows? J. Jonah Jameson would have been a cool character to do for something like this. Um, but again, it's Spider-Man sells, so I get why he's first out the gate. I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to see how he does.
Spider-Man sells, but Spider-Man, it doesn't sell at this type of sticker price in an already saturated market. And I think that's one
Right.
of my biggest concerns, and that's what I
Right.
really try to
Until we
tell
see the new
collectors.
movie come out in December,
And
that
but
might
that's
change it.
different though.
You
Well, the new
know.
Spider-Man movie is different. It's the PS4, all these variants from Spider-Man
Right.
at this type of
Hmm.
sticker price, where I would probably exercise caution to collectors. I'm like I would
Yeah.
wait for free shipping, a free coupon.
Yeah.
That to
Yeah.
me is not a day one pre-order. This, I don't care how much you
Hmm.
love Spider-Man, this is
Right. I
not a
agree.
day one pre-order.
Yeah. You
Same
might
thing
get
too for
lucky.
the Neon. Same thing too for that Neon Tech 50. It's a great, attractive looking suit. But I've told people already on Instagram, I go, that's not a day one pre-order for me. I'm not, fool me once, shame on me type deal. This Neon Tech 2.0 here, that was what, 2 years ago? That was a Toy Fair from 2 years ago, right? That was a
Right. Right.
2019. That was before the pandemic, and it's still
Hmm.
sitting here and it's finally almost done. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we have 3 Toy Fair exclusives. We have the Cyborg, we have the Mark Neon 50, and the only one that I see of real value and of real concern is the Mandalorian armor. Uh, you are aware how Toy Fair works. They typically will commit to an allotment, and once that allotment sells out, that's usually
That's it.
done. We never see it again.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, the real winner for me is the Mandalorian armor. That's why I was asking you, do you find it a little bit odd that with every Toy Fair announcement, all 3 characters go into pre-order on the same day, and now they're spacing it out? But you actually, I never dawned on me because you actually made a good point, I think, that there is no Comic-Con this year,
Right.
and Sideshow is really trying to stay in the news cycle. You've seen them more do live streams from their own channel. They've made a conscious effort.
Unboxings.
Yeah, the unboxings. We've never seen that before, right?
No,
We've
no.
never
This
seen
is the only.
Sideshow
This is the
have.
only. This
Yeah,
is the only way to sell to us collectors now is through this digital format. So having more, like I said, having more clicks, doing one a day gives everybody a chance to focus on that one character. So today they'll focus on Cyborg Spider-Man. Give it a couple days, and the next character, everybody will be talking about the next character. We'll get more pictures. We'll get a enhanced look at it, depending on what they want to show us. It just keeps it fresh and it keeps the Hot Toys and Sideshow name trending. So it's just business. It has nothing to do with holding back, or it's just this is the model that's working right now. So keeping things fresh in people's mind, and this is one way to do it. So spreading it out over the week. It's working for Hasbro. Hasbro's selling more toys now than ever, and they haven't had a convention all year. So, they are killing it right now. Their stocks are through the roof.
I know.
You and me
I
both know.
I'm a shareholder. I think I told you I'm a shareholder.
Yes,
And their best
yes, and we
year,
both are. Yeah,
their best year was last year. They made the
yes,
most profit
yeah,
last year. It was like 16%. It was something ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
So,
but but I have their book, and the majority of that money was not made by Marvel Legends, though. It was not made
mhm.
by GI Joe.
No, uh,
It was made by
games, wasn't it?
preschool. Huh?
Yeah.
What's that?
I wanted to say board games and stuff because I know
Board
that was a
games?
heavy
Yes,
hitter last year.
board
Yeah,
games and
yeah.
preschool children's toys. Yeah, for children under the age of 10.
Learning.
That's
Yeah.
where the majority of their money came from. And
Hmm.
so it's interesting because I have their book and they sent it to me. And people think, oh, Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series. I go, they don't care about that crap. That's not where they
Well,
made majority of their money.
you can't find it in the stores.
You
As
know,
a toy hunter, I'll tell you, it's very difficult and far
that's
to find
that's
anything.
that's but it's not Hasbro's concern. It's the purchase
Right.
orders that are submitted by the retail establishment. So
Mhm.
we talked about this a little while ago. I mean, this is what happens when nobody supported Toys R Us, right? You and I both,
Right.
right? We would go to Toys R Us, and what would we do? We go there, we pull out our phones, and we go on Amazon, right?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can buy
Yeah.
this better on Amazon, right? You did
Yeah.
it. We all
Yeah.
did it. We didn't support
Yeah.
Toys R Us like we should have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and and I remember telling this in one of my early streams. I go, when Toys R Us folds, I go, we're all going to suffer. We're all going to suffer. And I knew that. And you knew that too. You knew like once Toys R Us competitor.
Yeah, but we're all hustlers at the end of the day. If we can save 10 cents, we're going to save it. So
you got that right. For an action figure.
It does just translate to another platform. So, right now, a lot of stuff coming through from Amazon, Target, and Walmart, sure. But, you still work their own system against themselves. So,
So they did it right with their HasLab campaign. They launched it the year that Toys R Us, and I mean, I think they started the first HasLab before Toys R Us departure. I always said that maybe it was before because they knew this is where the industry was going, pre-ordering, buying things online. That brick and mortar mentality just is very old. It's very antiquated. It's very dated. But they've had great success. You got your Unicron. Oh, what happened to your Unicron? Did you keep it or did you flip it?
No, I flipped it. I did flip it. Got 18 for it.
Me too.
I got 18. Yeah. I didn't last long either. It didn't last long.
Yeah.
I actually just sold a sail barge for $2,400.
Oh, nice.
I had the yak face graded. He got a 9.0 uncirculated, so I sold the grading and the sail barge. We have 5 of them in our collection, so
nice.
That was the first one we sold. Yeah.
And the next big thing is going to be the Sentinel, and then the Mandalorian Razor Crest.
I got 8 of those bad boys coming. Yeah.
I got 5, and then I'm thinking the Razor Crest is going to blow things out of the water.
I think you saw that picture that circulated on the internet with Jon Favreau holding it. I think that was the first time the scale of it hit me. You see the pictures of it and everything.
Did you think it was smaller or bigger? I knew
it was smaller in the pictures, but when Jon Favreau was holding it, I was like, oh shit, that thing is really big. So
I took actual measurements when I backed up that campaign because I wanted to know how I was going to display my thing. I have to plan ahead because I wanted to know, was it going to fit in the module case? Yeah. Because it's not going to fit in a DTOF. You're not going to put that thing on a DTOF. So you need a shelf or something. So that's going to be very, very cool. Do you think let's jump back out to Hot Toys. Do you think the armor is going to sell out? Is going to go into waitlist within 24 hours? Because that's my prediction.
No, I don't think that. I don't think
really
it'll sell out. No, not in 24 hours. I think it'll sell out. It'll be the first of the 3 to sell out, but I don't know that it'll go out in 24 hours.
Well, not sell out, but waitlist. You don't think it'll go into waitlist in 24 hours?
No, but now you're gonna put that bug in my ear. So
well, think about it. Well, but you understand that Toy Fair figures do not exist in the same.
They're a smaller batch.
Yeah, they don't.
Limited run. Armor is definitely going to be, especially, she's not dead. In the series, she's disappeared, so we don't know where she went. So she will pop back up again. So yeah, maybe you are swinging me to she might go waitlisted in 24, possibly.
My initial
thought would have been no. I would have thought in a week. But maybe in this case, you might be right.
Toy Fair figures always exist. Here and here's a perfect example. Toy Fair characters, 2 things either happen: either they sell out right away, or they linger like this,
forever.
Like this page right here. They don't sell at all. It's either one or the other. That's because they're just Hot Toys that commit to a mysterious amount, and then they're gone. And we've seen this, right? But my theory isn't very sound because we've had examples where that's not always the case, like this right here. This right here on the screen.
Yeah, he sells now.
Did you ever get him? Did you ever get this guy in 20?
Yeah, I have him.
You still have him?
I have him. That version of him. Yeah, I sold the Sideshow version. I still have that version. Yeah.
But you have this in your collection, right?
But I get people asking for that one, hardcore. I get a lot of offers for that one.
I know you do, and it's hard for you because you're a reseller and you do the toy shows. So
it's the only thing that's had me hold on to it is because I'm getting the Ahsoka figures and all that, and that's a cool version of him. They are doing a Clone Wars version of him, but I'm not a fan of that one. It's not the same. I like this one more, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You don't think it'll be reissued? That's the big fan
Uh,
theory.
no, I don't think that particular version of him will be reissued. No, no. I think he's unique in that angry portrait that they gave him, and I mean it's a cool piece.
It's a very cool piece.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up picking him up. That was one of the first times where you could pre-order a figure from Sideshow, and then when you attended the show, you get to pick it
You
right
picked
up
it up.
there.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
that was awesome. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's yeah.
I had to pay a premium for him, but I got him. So
Oh, wait a
it's
minute.
cool.
So you didn't pick him up during the initial launch?
Well, no, no, no. I didn't order him on the initial launch. No, I picked him up at a show. So
When did you pick him up? Because he sat on Sideshow for about a year. You know that.
yeah, no, it was, it's kind of like what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't buy every one of them. I buy the
Yeah.
ones I love, and I liked him, and I thought he was cool, and I was like, oh, it was one of those things. I'm like, oh, I'll get him later, and then he sold out, and then I was like, maybe waitlisted and pan out, and then I saw him at a show, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pick him up there. Got a good deal on him, so you know.
That's pretty. That's
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes
yeah.
you got to be the buyer. Sometimes you got to get what you love.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we're gonna be seeing him anytime soon.
no, I
Especially,
don't either.
yeah,
Maybe when we get to an anniversary year, a big anniversary year for that movie, maybe. I mean, because what year is that movie? Revenge of the Sith. Is that 2005?
2005,
Right.
2005. Yeah,
So we'll hit maybe 2025. Maybe, that'll be the 20-year anniversary. So maybe we'll see something like that as a reissue. So it's possible in 3 years, 4 years, we might see it come out again. But I'm not sure. That's something that if they're gonna do again, it has to be on one of those big anniversaries. A 10-year anniversary, 15, 20, 25, even 30. Then that's when I think you'll see um, some of the
have
main characters come out again.
have they ever reissued a Toy Fair exclusive? I don't think they ever have.
Well, it'll be some version. Maybe he doesn't come with that base.
Yeah,
They'll make the character. I mean, how many
they'll make the
versions of Luke
character, but it's not
Skywalker
gonna
do we
be
have?
the
I
yeah,
mean, they're out there. If they want to make them, they'll make them. They'll find a way to tweak them to make them special, but they'll make them. So,
because that base is what makes them the
the
droid.
base is nice. I mean, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that base.
Yeah,
And the portrait. The portrait was really good. Well done really
yeah.
well on that one. So.
Do you know why he blew up though? It was because he was announced a few months after the regular Anakin had, and so people got bent out of shape over that. You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
People
It
got
happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They felt betrayed. It was too soon. But it's that there's just like everything else, you're gonna have your average collector, and then you're gonna have that top 10% collector that gets those kinds of pieces, and that's who they're selling to because they have to have that special. That's something special about that particular piece, and those are the guys that have them. So
So
yeah.
real quick though, because the whole world of Star Wars, it tends to
Mhm.
exist in multiple different IPs.
Mhm.
The animated adventures, the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, the classic
Mhm.
trilogy, the prequels, the prequel sequels. You're only focused, from what I've gathered, is the Mandalorian and the classic trilogy, or did you
I
abandon the
would
classic
say
trilogy?
I don't like the sequel trilogy stuff.
Okay,
So as far as I'm concerned, if it didn't exist, I'd be all right with it. I mean, they were, for what it was. I watched them. I saw the movies, enjoyed the music, but I didn't really build any kind of attachment to any one of the characters that they developed. So
Finn,
for me,
Ray, yeah,
none of it, none of it. That was all dead in the water from first time they popped up. So you can kind of sense it. But all of the other stuff, the way that they, when you can tie it, the reason why Mandalorian's working is because how it ties not only to the Clone Wars fans, because kids that watched that back in 2007, they're all adults
mhm,
now. So
yeah,
this is their childhood. So they're attached to it because now Mandalorian is connecting to it.
hmm
And then that also connects to Return of the Jedi, and that also connects. So there's and don't even get me started on Thrawn. and how they're bringing that Thrawn trilogy, the flavor of that into everything, and what the possibilities of that may be. So I think it's going to hit a lot of people. There's people out there that love them. My wife, she loves the sequel trilogy. She enjoyed them. She thought they were great movies, and I was like, it was all right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just, for me, I can forget them and move on.
And move
So,
on. You're still committed to the classic trilogy, though, right?
absolutely,
Okay, so
absolutely.
you're
I
getting
got
like
anything Empire is in my collection. I've got
okay.
the Tauntaun. I've got everything Black Series, everything Hot Toys. That's
So
that's
you have
always
like
in
the
my collection.
Lando. You got that Lando on pre-order, don't you? The Lando on pre-order. The Lando from Empire
Lando.
Strikes Back.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and the Luke in the Snowspeeder outfit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just the packaging is great. I
Okay.
just love
So
I
so
love
so
them.
and then so
But for
with the
me,
Mandal.
those are
Yeah.
great renditions of those characters. So older versions that I have, I'll sell those
Yeah.
off because I know I've got newer ones coming. And, you do. I will tell hot toy collectors, make sure you think about atmosphere. Think about the condition where you live in the country. You live in a very, you tell me all the time, you're in Vegas, out there it's really dry, and you
Yeah.
have to be cautious, because materials on those figures,
Yeah.
I've suffered my um, first hit with a, um, oh my God, it's escaping me.
Is it RoboCop? The
No,
Ed
no, no.
209?
No, the coat from Avengers, the patch. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm
Oh, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury,
Nick
Nick
Fury.
Fury.
Samuel
So
Jackson.
I for the very first time have suffered where the coat has started to flake, and I mean I keep my house. My house right now is at 71 degrees, and it's pretty much at that temperature all day long. So the house is well cooled. They're in those Detolf cases, free from dust, and
Is it
it
the humidity?
finally
Is it the humidity?
it just has to be. It's just one flake. It's just one slight
Yeah.
flake, and I was taken back because I was like, wow, that's the first time in I had never had damage on any of my figures. That was the first one.
You want to hear
Uh,
something? You want to hear something? My old figures from 2013, I've never had any type of fabric damage. I've actually
mhm,
recently went my Nick Fury, none of them. People talk about like
mhm.
the leather and the pleather
Yeah,
flaking.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
even my DX Indiana
Hmm.
Jones, it's
Perfect.
maybe I don't know. Is it the weather, the climate,
Well,
maybe
I
the
mean,
elevation?
it has to be, right? I mean, like I
Yeah,
said, I try to keep the climate really comfortable, and
yeah,
hoping to keep dehumidifier in the room, but I mean, but I would definitely protect your investment. Just always make sure you're
yeah,
doing everything to do what you can to protect that stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
mhm.
definitely want. I definitely want to. Are you getting any of the prequel characters? Like I know they have Django Fett. Are you getting him? Do you have him on pre-order?
I don't have him, but I am going to add him because I did like that character.
Okay.
And just because, now with Omega, I'm telling you right now, Omega from Bad Batch is going to become something major.
Oh, you're
And
gonna kill me, dude. Dude, you're gonna kill me. You've
what?
mentioned that name. Who the hell is Omega?
So you haven't watched Bad Batch?
I watched a little bit of the first episode. Is it that
Okay.
little girl? Is that her name? The
Yeah,
little
yeah,
girl?
yeah, yeah. It's the little
Okay.
girl. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So I don't you want me to tell you who it is, or?
You can tell me. I don't. I'm not gonna watch that show. I wouldn't. I
Okay.
could.
All right.
I'll
Well,
put it
it
on
turns out that
as an
she
ASMR
she's
video. I'll put it in the background. I'll see.
her name is Omega, where Jango Fett's son was Alpha, and Alpha became Boba Fett. So Omega is Boba Fett's sister.
Oh.
And the rumors that are spreading is that she's still alive in Mandalorian times, and she's an existing character out there that we have yet to realize who she is. So that will be interesting because
Yeah.
she could be the armorer for all I know, is what
Yeah.
my point is. That's my point,
Oh, I
is
see
that
what
we
you're
don't.
saying.
You know what
You
I
don't
mean?
want to
She's
chance
gonna
it.
turn up somewhere, and it's gonna be her sister, and let's see where that storyline goes. But it's probably going to be mind blowing. Um, Speculation. That's the
Heavy
fun of being a Star
speculation.
Wars
Yeah.
fan. It's fun to get into these characters and wonder, especially
Yeah.
with the way that the chapters come out where the story's bouncing up and down through the timeline. So they introduce a character in Bad Batch, which could be in Mandalorian. Ahsoka shows up in different times in her life through all the different content that they put out there. So, um, it's anything's possible. That's what makes fun. That makes what makes
Yeah.
Star Wars fun for me. But their twist on
It's,
it, I
yeah,
like I said, I didn't
I
like
am.
all of the.
No, I'm with you. I'm devoted to the live action series. I love The Mandalorian. I think they brought that nostalgia of being a kid again, playing with your toys. I think it's
Mhm.
phenomenal. The Mandalorian, hands down, has brought me back because I never believed. While you were out there collecting the classic trilogy back during 2017, and you were getting Yoda, and I was like, I go, F that. I go, Civil
Right,
War. I go, what are you messing your
right,
time with that?
right,
You
yeah.
know,
And you
there
wouldn't
was,
have been wrong, and you weren't wrong. I mean, back then it was a horrible
yeah,
gamble. It's paid off for me now,
yeah,
but back then it was because I loved the characters. So again, I was just going for the characters that I loved, and I appreciated them in the collection, which now have turned into being good investments. It's just that quick how something can happen in Star Wars and totally change. When you saw the first episode of Mandalorian, all of a sudden, Star Wars fans were all excited again.
yeah.
So I mean, it's just how it happens.
It's
So you just
fun.
never know where it's going to come from. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a fun show, and if it's exact same head writers for the showrunners for the Book of Boba in Jabba's palace, I'm going to drool all over that.
hey,
Return of the Jedi is my movie.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one film as a kid I remember seeing in theaters. I never got to see Empire. I never got to see Star Wars, but Empire Strikes Back. I mean, Return of the Jedi with my mom, with my family,
Right.
1983. I remember that. I do. I remember it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
that's
in eighth grade. I was in eighth grade, and we cut school, and we went to go. A bunch of us went to go see the movie during school hours. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's go see Return of the Jedi. It's out."
Return
So
of the
yeah, I
Jedi.
remember going to see that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I with the Book of Boba, and you see Bib Fortuna and all the creatures and from Jabba's palace.
Right.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if the rumors are true that he wants to bring one of the Hutts as a full animatronic puppet, because
Hmm.
Jon Favreau loves his puppets and
Yeah,
animatronics,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
going to
well,
be
he's done
awesome.
enough. He's got some stuff under his belt with Lion King and was it Tarzan? Just working with that kind of
With that
animation
type of
and mixing
technology.
it, yeah, technology and stuff. So yeah, I trust him right now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's he's good in my book, until he
Yeah.
proves me wrong.
Yeah,
So
he pioneered a technique for the film of Zathura. Remember Zathura, which was
hmm
kind of like a spiritual sequel to Jumanji.
hmm
He developed a technique where the actors were embodied where they were wearing animatronic bodysuits for those lizards, but it was CGI portions of it. It was
hmm
really, really cool at the time. And then
hmm
that tin giant walking robot was part
Yeah.
CG, but it was an actor on
Part,
stage. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I,
He's
I'm with,
definitely pushing it. He's definitely
yeah,
pushing that where you can take your mind. I mean, it's got to give it up to these creators and where they take their imagination, and it just gives us
yeah,
something fun to enjoy for years. But yeah, they're pushing it with the technology and how real they can make everything look. I mean, it's just you just forget. I mean, it's funny. I watched Jurassic Park a few weeks back, and I'm just looking at it on these high definition TVs, and I'm like, oh wow. I don't
it's
think
not
I
the same.
saw that. It's not the same. I mean,
It's not the
back
same.
then it was like mind blowing how great that technology was, and now you look at today's technology, and it's just so much more improved. It's insane.
So really quick, we're going to end the stream a little bit here. So
Okay.
you you said you were just nitpicking the Mandalorian characters from the existing pre-orders. So you're not going to touch any of the stormtroopers or any of these trooper characters, or
No, no, I got the what is it? The Dark Troopers. I got two of those. I got one Remnant Trooper.
okay. How about Moff
No,
Gideon? Are you getting Moff Gideon?
no, I haven't yet. What
Okay.
I cared more about was the Dark Saber, and now that I can get it with the Mandalorian, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get him or not. But I'm kind of
He's on the
50-50.
fence. He's on yellow
Yeah,
alert. Yeah, I'm getting him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How
I
about how
like to
about the Rogue
see. I
One?
want to
How-
see. I want to see how much. I want to see where they. It's and again for me, it's if I'm buying into the story, I like owning a piece of things that that kind of intrigue me and stuff. So if the character's well developed and I'm buying into it, then he'll be in my collection. And I'll do the figure posing in the room, and I'll set up the scenes with the different characters and let that live there for 6 months to 3 years, and then I change things around. But so he's a possibility. I mean, I could see myself getting him very easily. So he just hasn't made that cut yet because I've been so focused on all of this Clone War stuff that's been just
You
flying
love your
out.
Clone Wars. God damn it. You
Oh
any
God,
chance,
yeah,
boy, you and your fucking
yeah,
you and your damn Clone Wars.
yeah, man. You're
You've
damn
always
right, man.
always
I
been the
loved it.
freaking
I
Clone
I
Wars.
I never enjoy. I mean, when Clone Wars started, I was just like, when it first started, and then Rookies, where it was just the clones, and that's where you met your Echo, and that's where it got me. That got
Yeah.
me, and then from there on, and I was always a Darth Maul fan. So when they included Darth Maul later on in the series, I was just like, all right, this matters. So, and it has. I mean, it carried over into Rebels, and now it's in The Mandalorian. I mean, anything is possible right now, and I
I hate
just
that crap
love.
though. I've never, that's always bugged the hell out of me where they die. Like,
Uh,
oh, well, they die. They fell down a shaft down off
yeah.
camera. So now I hate that crap. That's always
Well,
bugged the hell out of
I
me.
agree with you. I agree with you. I hated the Emperor in the last movie, but it
Yeah.
happens. So it is what it is. But I am looking
We're,
forward to Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm hoping
yeah.
that storyline plays out the way I have it envisioned in my mind, and being able to own some of those characters is huge. So that'll be nice. That'll be a nice way to go out and ending, because I love, when Star Wars ended for me in '83. It wasn't until the Thrawn trilogy came out in books and then in comic books, and that was huge. That was our Star Wars until '95 brought everything, back around, and brought us um, the Phantom Menace. But before Phantom Menace, it was all about that Thrawn trilogy, man. Everybody was into all those books that came out. So those stories, the way that they're going into those stories and picking out stuff, and the video games. I mean, I'm interested in what they're gonna do with the Old Republic, and if they're gonna bring some of those great characters, into the story. Um, it's
You've always been an advocate for that expanded universe schlock.
yeah,
And
man.
you've always,
I
and,
mean,
and
you can only hear so much about Luke and Leia and Han. I'm interested in those other characters. I mean, that's why Mandalorian is doing so well. It's an obscure, tucked away in a corner. It's giving you something new and fresh. So that's what's in. I think it's fun for a Star Wars fan. I mean, it's why not
yeah,
learn something new. And
yeah.
learn to fall in love again. And just enjoy it. I mean, you can be a kid again, man. I'm 50. I'm gonna be 51 in 3 weeks, and I get to be a kid again when this stuff comes out. So,
Yeah.
I
It's
love it.
cool.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they've done it. They've cracked the code. They
hmm
made it very simple. They didn't have to overcomplicate it like with the sequel
Right.
trilogies with Kylo Ren and Rey
He had too many
they,
hands. He had too many hands in the creation of
yeah,
all that. They didn't have a plan, and you can see it because there was no continuity between the three movies. So
nothing.
that's where they messed up. I think with Filoni studying under Lucas and picking up his, Lucas, the stuff is for kids. Don't make no
It is.
mistake about it. Star Wars is
Yeah.
for 10-year-olds, and he always stuck to that, and I'm okay with that. I love the characters that he created and where different writers have taken the story, but you always have to remember this was always made for kids to have fun with. So
Yeah.
if you don't overcomplicate it, and I think that's what they try to do with the sequel trilogy, and they just got desperate and forced their hand to do things that they didn't really need to do. I mean, what were the Knights of Ren? What was
The hell?
the even point of that? You
What's
know
the
what I
point of
mean?
that crap? Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just I think that had potential. That was probably that was the one thing that I was most interested in when I heard it in The Force Awakens. I was like, oh, what are the Knights of Ren? That would have been interesting, but it just flopped. I mean,
It flopped. Well, yeah,
it
that
just did.
idiot in charge.
And I respect everybody
JJ.
that loves it. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, there's people that love it, and I totally respect it. And there's aspects of it. I mean, visually, I thought some of those movies had some really great stuff in it, but just wasn't for me. Storyline, anyway.
Let me ask you a quick question. I know I promised you an hour, but let me ask you a quick. If Hot Toys
What's
ever
up?
made a Jar Jar Binks, if Hot Toys ever made a
Uh,
Jar Jar Binks, would you ever get it?
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
me too.
would.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
you.
I get it. I get it. I get it because of I think how much he pissed everybody off. It makes me laugh to look at him. So yeah, I still have the the Hasbro version of him.
The
You know, 'cause
Hasbro.
that's the only version I have. You know, the $20 version that I got back in 1999. You know, I says, but
Yeah.
he was funny. You know, I mean, I think people just overreacted to that character back then. But you know, I think he was important. I think he shaped some of that storyline. So it's interesting.
Okay.
Interesting
One
character.
one last one. One last one because I get. If they
Go
made a
ahead,
Hot
man.
Toys, if they made a Hot Toys Bail Organa, would you get him?
Yeah, I'd get him too.
You'd get Jimmy
Yeah,
Smith, really?
yeah. I liked. Well, I just like that backstory for Leia and everything. So like, yeah, I have a couple of different Leias, and I'd gladly put him in the case with her. So yeah, yeah, I'd
I
get
don't
him.
think he would sell though. But would you agree he
No, I,
wouldn't?
I, I don't think he'd sell, but I mean, if it was made possible and I was able to get him, yeah, I'd have him in the collection. I wouldn't pay more than 250 for him, but you know, that's one of those characters that just,
Yeah.
I would have liked to have learned more, and so I just have to let my imagination kind of go with it. So, but yeah, that part of when Alderaan blew up, just that whole story. I was always intrigued about what was that all about. And then we finally got to see who he was, and so that was interesting. And I mean, it wasn't really fleshed out, but you got what you needed in the movie.
You got
So
what you needed.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have Yoda right next to him. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. How about Qui-Gon? Do you have Qui-Gon from Hot Toys? Did you get him from the prequels?
Which one?
Qui-
Qui-Gon? Yeah, I have him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Um,
sold his Sideshow version. I had all the Sideshow version when Sideshow was doing their figures
yeah.
before Hot Toys, and I just sold Qui-Gon. But yeah, I replaced them all with Hot Toys version. So I had all the clones. I had Echo and Fives, and I've
You
sold
had them
them
all from
because
Sideshow. Yeah.
oh yeah, I had them all.
Yeah.
$50 I think they were when they came out, which is insane when you look at
That's
the
right.
way where Hot Toys
Nobody
is
was
now.
buying it at the time. Yeah.
No, no, uh, but yeah, I've been upgrading, so better versions. But the portraits are so much better with Hot Toys. So, and
Okay.
even within Hot Toys, I mean, look back to Iron Tony Stark, and you go back to the Mark III, Mark IV, and look at Mark 50. That's just the detail. They keep improving. So it's been really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. All right. I'll cut it. So as far going to close on the Toy Fair characters, you're only going to pre-order the armor like I am, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it for me.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I'd have the week before I purchased it, but now you've got me thinking, all right, maybe I should just go ahead when it drops. So we'll see.
I mean, you
We'll
day
see
one
what the
pre-order
choice is.
everything else. It's interesting how
Yeah.
how you confess that you day one pre-order everything, but yet the
I
armor,
mean,
I'm like, I'm gonna
the,
think
the
about it.
ones that I no lie, the one, Ahsoka there was never a question. The Clone Troopers, the deluxe version of her with all
Yeah.
the gear, never a question. Vader comes out. I love Vader. If it's a cool, I've got the Empire one with where he slices, that whole diorama. I have to have it. So there's just things that are going to be day one. Others might take a week, but for the most part, I get them in and then I just fire and forget, man. I set up the payment plan and they show up when they show up and I enjoy them until it's time for them to go. So
Damn. Yeah. It was like an old school veteran. Like when they show up, when they not. I want them all. The problem is that
yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot,
yeah.
and I want them all.
Well, yeah, I mean there's a lot coming, right? Certainly, and with the shows coming out, there's going to be a lot more. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have choices to make and you know beg the wife for some more space, maybe. Whatever
Yeah.
that battle is for you, you just make sure you like what you're buying. That's the
Pretty
best
much.
advice. It's just
Yeah.
you gotta love it. I mean, you have a great collection. You put a lot of pride into the way you display yours, and I've always admired all of the detail you put into the cases that you purchase and everything. So some of your cases are worth more than the Hot Toys. If you have in that collection. So, that's dedication, but,
No.
what you bring to the audience is great content. So it's just been my pleasure to be a part of this today.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad I was able to get you on here and kind of share your thoughts on Star Wars. I know you being on the East Coast and me being on the West Coast, and your hours are wacky and mine are wacky too.
Right.
So,
But that never
I'm,
stops us from reaching out to each other and talking about stuff, right? So
no,
that's
no,
I
it never
forget that the
does.
gap that we have, but we're always messaging. So
No,
I
it never does.
appreciate
But I always
these
know where
fellow
you stand. I
collectors.
always know that for you, it's Star Wars first, DC second, and then Marvel. And then for me, it's always
Everything
been
else.
Marvel, DC, and then Star Wars somewhere around here. But The Mandalorian's bringing it up for me. The Mandalorian is bringing me back. Are you? I got the speeder bike today. Did you get the speeder bike from the Mandalorian?
No, I didn't get,
you didn't want that, or you didn't?
No space for that. Yeah, that's one of those
Yeah.
things I can live without. Yeah. So
Okay.
Batmobile takes up a lot of space. So
you and that you and that DC line. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun.
And don't forget, you go from Hot Toys, you graduate to statues, and let's not even get into that. Statues will definitely.
You don't have it. I don't understand.
Granddaddy.
You always tell me this. You always tell me that you're doing. I'm like, you don't have any space. Where are you putting the statues? Underneath the bed, in the bathroom, on top of the toilet sink? Where are you?
I sent you pictures the other day of some of the stuff in the room. So just make it work, man. You just make it work.
Make it work. Did you have one on the floor though? Didn't you send me one where you just had the statue on the floor? You did.
I was moving things around. Yeah, I had a couple boxes pulled down. I was rearranging them. So.
When a statue collector is like, I'm going to leave it on the floor and I'll get to it, I'm like, yeah, dude, you got to I know a lot of people. Don't feel bad. I know a lot of people. And then the one photo, I wish I could find where people are putting statues on top of the toilet sink because they ran out of space.
Oh, yeah. No, I've never gotten that level. No. But,
all right. Do you have a website that you want to plug before we end this?
Just right now, I'm just have the Slap Happy Toys on Instagram,
Okay.
Informational. We kind of plug our shows that we're going to. We've met a lot of cool people. We try to find collections and stuff for everybody, and I'm having a blast just meeting the people. So that's what I got so far. Gonna break into YouTube here soon. So this doing stuff like this is building my confidence. Talking in front of the camera.
You've been saying that for years. You said that shit back in 2015. Then I'm going into YouTube.
Family, bro. Family.
Do it.
Gets it. Yeah, you're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right.
You are well versed. You had me concerned in the beginning about how you were day one pre-order and all this schlock, but you redeemed yourself though. I'm like, all right, he's spoken like a veteran. I'm like, phew. Yeah. I can't. I mean, because you have to understand though, a lot of new collectors jumped in last year during the pandemic because of the Mandalorian, and they've never seen this, Jeff. Like you and I are used to this, but 30, 40 plus pre-orders that haven't shipped on one IP. That's not DC. That's not Marvel.
Not Marvel.
You and I, you're very cool and confident, but it's a big deal if you're a rookie, if you're an amateur. Like this is a lot. We've never even during the tentpole days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we never saw this crap. You know that.
Right. Yeah.
Never saw this. So, I'll look at that. All right, we're looking at this. You see, look, you got a fan there already. Look at the comment.
I was just about to say, as you were talking, I picked up like 4 different followers that popped up on the top of my screen. So thank you for the support, and I hope not to let you guys down. So I appreciate it.
I'll put the link in the description to his Instagram channel. Right. He's based out of the East Coast, Florida, Orlando. He'll be doing toy shows. So if you want to reach out, say hi to Jeff. Instagram, like I said, that's his handle there. I'm going to end it tonight. Day one pre-order, the armor. I'm worried about that. Yeah, but that Cyborg and that neon, that's F that.
I think when you got the money, it'll still be there. I don't think it's going to disappear.
I'm going to be like you, during the Spooktacular coupon, free shipping. I'm not.
Well, me and you will be talking about this come November when we're waiting for the 12 days of Christmas. All right, what coupon are they going to give us for
what coupon or something?
We talk of that every year, so it'll be fun.
And then hopefully one day. I've been saying this for years. You got to come to San Diego Comic-Con.
I think I'm going to tell you. I think as soon as they're back up and running, I told this to Mike McGriskin. I told him, I says, we got to take Zenobi up and we just got to fucking do it and just go. I think we've been doing the convention circuit. We're really comfortable now. So I think we're going to the next one. So
you got to.
It always comes out for my birthday. That show is always on my birthday.
It's your birthday.
So, yeah,
you write it off. You write it off from the family expenses of your birthday. There you go.
That's it. We're going. As soon as the next one happens, we're there. So you hold me to it, all right?
I will. All right, folks. Good night. We're cutting this stream off. Thank you so much, Jeff. Say good night.
You got it, man. Good night, everybody, and thanks for all the support, and enjoy the collection.